Member for Oromocto-Lincoln.
Mr. Speaker, 267 private daycare operators are being discriminated against because the Liberal government says they make money. This is completely wrong in so many ways and is another poor choice. Not a tough choice, but a poor choice by the Liberal government. Mr. Speaker, the Premier says that his priority is job creation, but a decision to cut $2.4 million in operation funding for private daycares will result in job losses, less benefits to employees, and increased parent fees for private daycares. The 97% of private daycare operators are either owned or co-owned by women who have worked for years to build a united and strong sector, creating jobs for themselves and others and providing quality daycare service for the community. How can the Premier justify the cut of $2.4 million to daycare operators that will result in job losses and increase inequity for women that's setting the sector and women's rights backwards 20 years?
Honourable Minister of Education, now early childhood.
Merci, Monsieur le Président.
Thank you, and thank you for the question, member of the opposition. It gives me the opportunity to rectify many facts that have been provided over the past few days, and I know that a memo is being sent to parents that there is a reduction of $2.4 million in this quality support program. So this information is not quite exact, and when I read this, it said, attached is a memo that Jody Carr made up. Bon.
Send us to the parents. Mais, Monsieur le Président,
well, Mr. Speaker, I can reassure everyone in the House that we are investing in this program. We are increasing by $400,000 the funding to this program. And I would like to specify that only those who make money will be touched. Employees will have $2.8 million more.
Proud to fight and stand for the work that the early childhood educators have put forward in this province for the last 20 years, Mr. Speaker. And unfortunately, because of the poor choices by the Premier and this Cabinet, it's setting back this industry for a long time. This is very unfortunate. On Thursday, we first learned the daycare operators were shocked to learn that $1.9 million was being cut from their budgets to operate. Then on Friday to learn, in fact, it was actually $2.4 million for daycare operators of private daycares. The minister says because they make money. But, Mr. Speaker, this is furthest from the truth. The Premier has said job creation, this is what's strange, job creation is the #1 priority. He also says the government will only make evidence-based decisions. I can tell you that private daycare operators as small businesses do not make money, but they do create jobs. And these private operators can show the government that, in fact, they are not making money, but they are making jobs. Mr. Premier, if they can show this evidence, will you, Mr. Premier, reverse these cuts?
The Honourable Minister of Education.
Monsieur le Président.
Mr. Speaker, you know, the end goal of this program is simple. It's to ensure recruiting and retention of employees who are working directly with our children, the future of the province. So, Mr. Speaker, these people are generally women who typically are paid around minimum wage. Because of this new program, those employees will receive either an extra $3.07, or for those who have training in early childhood education, they'll receive $5 extra. So these women, mostly women, need our assistance, and we are proud to increase by $2.8 million. I repeat this, $2.8 million, the funding that is being provided.
Member for Oromocto-Lincoln.
Speaker, how derogatory and discriminated that these women feel. Private daycare operators, the vast majority, 97%, are either owners or co-owners, are women. And this government has made an ill-advised decision to cut their operating funds. In fact, 75% to be eligible, 75% of their time of the private operators need to be working with children. They are working with children. And in fact, this cut means that these daycare operators will be making less than the people they employ. This is the wrong decision. In fact, now we have staff of the minister's staff are advising the private daycare operators ways to avoid the cuts, either through relicensing or becoming nonprofit. or switching the ownership in the name of their spouses. 267 private daycare operators are small businesses that have mortgages and loans. Mr. Premier, this is an ill-advised decision that will set women's rights and the daycare sector backwards. Why not avoid this distraction when there's no savings that are going to be found and reverse these cuts?
The Honourable Minister of Education.
Monsieur le Président.
Mr. Speaker, the goal of the program, first and foremost, is to help the employees who are working directly with our children, with our young children. I repeat that. And so we've made a choice that makes sure that women, because these are generally women, will be able to have access to adequate wages so that they can have jobs in the early childhood education sector, in the daycares, not only to recruit them but also to retain them. And also we're adding $500,000 for training to make sure that we can provide the children, our future, a positive environment for learning with qualified staff. And we're proud of our decision, Mr. Speaker.
Member for Southwest Maryland.